Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is all about this. Now, if you think, okay, I want to convert my darts to Swiss points, this is an alternative option which is just as good. I think it's a little bit better because of how it's designed. So to save a bit of time, I've already done trial and error. I tried it on one of my sets, and because where the point goes into my barrel wasn't deep enough, mine was not suitable. Now, I'm guessing that's just because it's a custom made dart, but yeah, so what I've done is I've actually got some windmill Diablos here, and if you look, you can clearly see one of the points is very different, and that's because I've removed two standard points and I've installed the Evo system. And it's really easy. If you want to change your point, once you've installed it, just unscrew it, much like a Swiss point, and then you might not be able to see it. You might be able to. So there's like a reverse screw thread. That's the easiest way to describe it. So when you're actually putting this in, rather than the thread being on the outside of the point, it's on the inside. And I think it makes it just much stronger. So you can just screw it on with your fingers and then you just give it a little nip like that. And that's in. They do these points in various lengths. These are the ones that come with the starter kit. They are a bit longer. I think they're maybe 36 mil. For me, that's too long. I would have liked to put this in my set, like I said, but I couldn't. So what do you need? Well, when you get the starter kit, you get these little boxes. Where are they? That look like these. You get 3 of these, okay? And they have little things in them called spigots, which are so small you might not be able to see them, okay? They look like tiny, tiny seeds. And what you do is there's another tool you get in the Evo box, and it is called the driver. And if you look, it's very similar in design to a point, but what you do, you get the spigot. This is the fiddliest bit that I've found. You get the spigot and you thread it into the end of the point, and you eventually get it. And all you do, you just screw it so it's flush like that, okay? So it's flush in. You've then got to remove your point from your existing dart. So I actually have this, the Windmill Craftsman. So all I do, try and tilt the camera down a bit more for you. So basically, because I've done this before, that's the measurements I need. You move it up and down to find it. You just get your dart and you move that down. There we go. And then you just thread the dart on there like you're threading on a normal flight or K-flex or whatever. You then clamp it down. So just 2 screws, put them in with my fingers before I give them a little nip. So the benefits of this system is you can actually remove it and it doesn't damage the barrel as far as I can see. So I've got it in there, just give it a bit of a tighten with that. Yeah, and then need to remove this point. So get ready to see the horrible looks on my face, maybe. Okay, so it's coming out. Pretty easy, there we go. So you'll see now, if you look, that point is completely free. So next thing to do is reset the point now. So you quickly remove the old point, undo them threads that we just put in, or them 2 screws, sorry, and there is the old point, and then there's all 3 of them. So there's all 3 of the old points. Now, something you do need to do, if I quickly take this barrel out, when you get the starter kit, you have 3 different sizes of spigots: 2.33, 2.34, and 2.35. Now, start with the smaller one, load it up into the driver and put it in. You can see I've been able to put that in with my fingers. Now it does fit, but I can pull it out. So I know the 233 it's that bit too small. So these are the tiny margins you're dealing with. So I can put that one away. So here's the 2.34. So load it up into the driver, load it up, and then you repoint the dart how you normally would. But instead of putting the point in, you're installing the spigot into the barrel. So get it lined up in there, clamp it down. Whoops. I'll clamp it down a little bit first so I can have a little play with it. There we go. Right, clamp it in. So yeah, repointing darts, it's one of them where having Swiss points is so easy, but I actually had this before I bought the Swiss points, and it was quite a bit, like, it's expensive, but you can do it with every dart, and then your points are a fraction. So what I do is when I'm at this stage, I just try and get the threads. So now the spigot is nearly in the barrel, and now I've got to squeeze it in. And what you need to do, you need to squeeze it in all the way. Can I get it a bit closer? There you go. You need to squeeze it in all the way to where it starts to look like a nut and a bolt, because that becomes the key for when you're threading them. So let's get this in. Right, that's gone in. That bit always goes in quite easy, I find. It's this bit here. Okay, so I can feel it. Right, that's not going anywhere now. I'll take it out. Repointing darts, it doesn't take long. It's just a bit fiddly, and you do see online people going, oh, can I convert this to Swiss point? Well, you actually can convert darts to Swiss points. It is a bit of a pain. So you can just see, I've just, so if I put it back on, I've put the drivers back in. So that's how you remove it from here. And then you just twist it off, and you should be able to see now the spigot is down there. So then what I do, let's just get the point, and you can see I can thread it. And then just to give it a little nip, put the key on it. You can see the key's got 3 different sizes on it. So I'm guessing that's because they get points with it. So all of them have got like a different design at the end. So that's why you need it. And there we go. That is 3 points fitted with the Evo system. You can then go out and buy any of their Evo points to put on your darts. If you want to remove the spigot, you just reverse the process, and then you can put a normal point back in. So that's been me converting a set of, they were Windmau Diablos, which I don't use. Like I said, I was trying to use mine and it wasn't having it. And then in your starter kit, so there you go, there's the 2 of the boxes of spigots. There's the 3rd one. Put the driver back in there so I don't lose it. And that's it. Simple. I'll say as simple as that. It's not simple, is it? It's a bit fiddly, but you can see that I've repointed that. I know the video's on about 8 or 9 minutes now, but in reality, once you get it nailed, you're probably looking at 2 minutes to do it, and then you're set for as long as you want to use Evo points. So go out, try it if you want. If you want to try Swiss points, this is an alternative you can do. And I think you can get an Evo kit in the UK for $12.99. That's a set of Swiss points, isn't it, really? Well, most Swiss, a lot of them anyway. And then you can chop and change as you want. So yeah, like I said, that's been me changing darts, me changing the points, putting the Evo system on there. Hope you've enjoyed it. Any questions, feel free to ask. Send there, and as always, remember to throw first.